So we have here white against the queenside Fianchetto, e4, b6, d4, bishop b7, bishop d3, knight f6, queen e2, knight c6. Now this is more solid than an alternative move of e6, which leaves white with a space advantage similar to that in previous exercises. For example, knight f3, d5, or c5, c3, etc. Similar idea. d5, e5, knight f d7. Instead, black's plan of counterattack with e7, e5 proves a little extravagant. So back in this position, knight c6, c3, e5, knight f3. Once again, we have a typical white setup for the 150 attack, but in a kind of mirror image as black has played bishop b7, d6, castles, g6. Stromer establishes a kind of Philidor defense with both bishops fianchettoed. Given the chance to castle kingside, this setup doesn't look at all bad for him. But of course, this world-class opponent won't allow him the time to make a couple of vital moves he needs. White here provokes an immediate crisis in the center. Rook d1. White sees that having the rook on the d-file will bring dividends. Already the black queen needs to flee a possible discovered check, or discovered attack. Queen e7, d takes e5, knight takes e5, knight takes e5, queen takes e5. If, for example, d takes e5, then bishop a6, bishop takes a6, queen takes a6, when white has a strong attack with queen b5 check or bishop g5. Queen takes e5, knight d2, queenside castle, knight f3, queen h5. So a weaker move would be queen e8. Though white can attack here, bishop g5, bishop g7, a4, etc. Queen h5, knight g5. The weakness of f7 will prove fatal, despite the exchange of queens. Queen takes e2, bishop takes e2, rook d7, e5, h6. So what about d takes e5? Rook takes d7, knight takes d7, knight takes f7, rook g8, and white has the pleasant choice between the bishop g4 pinning the knight or bishop c4 going after the rook. Black would at least lose the e5 pawn. h6, e takes f6, h takes g5, bishop g4, rook h4, h3. Now, This I thought was interesting. Let's look at some other alternatives here. We have an instructive final move. Most players would jump at the chance of playing bishop takes d7 check. But after king takes d7, black at least has an active rook. And playing something like, oh no wait, let's continue with this. Bishop takes d7 check, king takes d7, bishop takes g5, and rook g4. And this, unfortunately, is attacking both g5 and g2. So what about, so we see here h3 is superior because bishop h6, rook e1, rook takes g4, rook e8 check, rook d8, rook takes d8, king takes d8, h takes g4. Then the simplification has made it much easier for white to win this endgame.